house in my mind, and when I saw this house I thought, this is my house. Instead of making statements, I can't, I started asking questions. What if I could? So every morning I drew out my house, and so all I saw was the sun over the top of the building. I'd even drawn a private jet, and I would write joy, happiness, peace, love, and 3 weeks later we were in the house. But it was about 3 months later that I realised, the sun is exactly where I drew it. There's a private airport not so far away, so there's private jets that literally go past. The stables are exactly where I drew it, and room for 5 cars, there's room for 10 cars. And so thinking into results is not a program, it's a way of life. So that is proper manifestation. Here's the thing, you're doing it every day, except you tend to bring the things you don't want because you worry, and then you doubt yourself, and then you get all anxious. And what we learn is to bring you back to centre, so that then you can go in whatever direction you want to go. Hello, hello, hello. It is so good to have you on here. Thank you so much for coming on. I'm going to keep you for a maximum of half an hour, and I'm going to give you as much information as I can. So what is it you're going to find out in this webinar? So 3 types of goals, only one of them is worth pursuing. Bet you didn't know that before. You thought a goal was a goal. What's the one thing you should never consider when establishing a goal? How to multiply your effectiveness with virtually no effort at all. Let me tell you, I am all about ease, flow, and joy. Listen, at the ripe old age of nearly 53, that this is really going to, you just want ease, flow, and joy, don't you? Hands up, who wants ease, flow, and joy? I mean, seriously, who doesn't want it? What's the habit that will bring you a bigger payoff more than any other, and a really simple way to instantly supercharge your productivity? Listen, there's so much more here. I want to get straight into it. You can see what's on the screen there, but I want to literally help you get the easiest steps. And if you follow this, I call this the GPS to success. And it is literally something, if you pay attention to what I'm telling you, especially in the first thing, you can change absolutely everything. I want to tell you, first of all, it's not who you are that holds you back. It's who you think you're not. When Sandy Gallagher said that to me, I just thought, I don't understand what that means. But in this journey that I can take you on is to really understand who you are. Now, I've got a program, and it literally will take you through the laws of the universe and who you are. And this is where I learned all this information from. It really has changed my life. And so these are like 3 lessons from that program. There's 12 lessons, but it's something you really want to be thinking about. Before we get started, these are Bob Proctor's affirmations. Absolutely, they are the best, no matter where you are in life. These are the best affirmations. It doesn't matter if you've got £1 in your pocket, or $1 million, or $1 billion. I am so happy and grateful now. Money flows easily to me from multiple sources in increasing amounts in a continuous way. You were born rich. And I hope you've enjoyed Bob's book, You Were Born Rich. If you haven't got a copy of it, make sure you let me know about that. And you are deserving of all the wealth. Because just because you have money doesn't necessarily mean that you feel actually deserving of it. So it doesn't matter where you are. Just a brief history from me. I wanted to understand why, when I had in my imagination that I would interview Bob Proctor, that I did, that I would stand beside him and train with him, and I did. And I even ended up in a movie and working on a movie with him, How Thoughts Become Things, and I did. How did all that happen? What do you have in your imagination? Because what I decided to do was to draw down my house. I decided to draw something to me. And this is what I drew. Now, you may laugh. You may have no clue what you see on the screen here. If you're on your mobile phone, you might have to make it a little bit bigger. But this is what I drew. The sun is exactly where I drew it. The horses, the stables, absolutely everything. You've probably seen the video to begin with. And these are just more pictures of the house that I ended up in. Now, I must have drawn this out for 6 months. I just kept seeing myself here. I went to sleep in the house. I did everything like that. And then within a 6-week period, just one thing after the other, literally, we were in this house. Poor Wolfgang, he didn't even understand that we were moving the next day. Your imagination is the most marvelous, most miraculous, inconceivably powerful force the world has ever known. There's a clue in this. This is the greatest thing that you can use. You see, we tend to use it the wrong way. We tend to think of how things can go wrong. And I'm not very imaginative, but I believe you, if there was something that was going wrong, that you would actually have all the imagination in the world. So we start to use it to see what it is that we want to see. You have an imagination that is more important than knowledge. And that's Einstein saying that. Listen, your results always tell the truth. It doesn't matter how much you know. It doesn't matter if you've had the money, lost the money, had the money, lost the money. Your results are telling the truth about where you are. And what we want to see is, are your results causing your thinking? Or is your thinking causing your results? If you don't like what you see, it's time to do something different. It's time to get honest. It's not going to happen next year. It's not going to happen next week. It has to happen now. Believe me, I was that person going, well, this time next year it'll all be sorted. When I was in my 20s, I thought I'll have it sorted in my 30s. When I was in my 30s, I thought I'll have it sorted in my 40s. When I was in my 40s, I just crashed and burned. I don't want that to happen to you. Pay attention, be honest with where you are and what you truly want. You've only got this one life. Let's make it a good one and help other people do the same thing. I'm so happy and grateful now. Money flows easily to me from multiple sources, increasing amounts in a continuous way. You were born rich and you do deserve wealth. Now, you see, some people may be watching this who are, I can't help you if you're in your comfort zone. Because if you're in your comfort zone and you think everything's okay, what I learned was that, well, you're cruising, but you can only cruise downhill. Comfort zone is really dangerous to be in. That's when you don't notice things coming up. So here's Mr. Caterpillar here. And he is like so happy being himself. But there's going to be a bit of a transition going on, isn't it? To being a butterfly. Isn't this like so amazing that we could have this transition? Do you believe something like that? I didn't believe this was possible. And let me tell you, I was in my 40s before I actually realized that a caterpillar turned into a butterfly. It's a proven methodology. There's something going on inside that this caterpillar has to go through. It is proven. It works. But here's the thing. Is he thinking like a butterfly? Or is he thinking like a caterpillar? This is so key to what we're just about to do here. See, one of the laws of the universe is the law of vibration. We are all energy. You know the energy. You feel it when somebody walks into a room. You either like them or you don't like them. You feel something around them. Maybe you walk into a room and it's full of energy. You walk into another room and it sucks the life out of you. That's what I'm talking about. So your results are on an energy field. There's a certain energy to your problems. There's a certain energy to your success. You must know that. If you want to get hold of me on my phone, you would need to have my exact number. You would need to tune into that. Otherwise, you can't get me. You can't speak to me. You need to know the exact where this webinar is to be able to get on it. Otherwise, if you just typed in webinar, well, what would you have got? It's the same with a radio station. You tune in to Radio 1. You tune in to Classical FM. You don't need to get rid of Radio 1 if you want Classic FM. You just tune it in, you choose it, and then you will hear the music. You didn't have to go and get it. It was there, wasn't it? That's what I'm talking about here. That's what I'm talking about. Your results are on a wavelength. Now, what results do you want to have? So you imagine that the caterpillar is on one wavelength and the butterfly is on another. Can you see that? It's a whole different vibration, a whole different energy from a caterpillar to a butterfly. It's the same for your results as well. And you see, you're here and you want to be there. What's stopping you? You see, your results are here. and your goal is there. But is your goal big enough? See, this is one of the things. There's 3 types of goals. Bob calls them ABC goals. A is something you've already done before. B is a stretch target. And C is something you have absolutely no clue. Well, guess what most people tend to go for? They tend to go for the A goals. There's no motivation in an A goal, something you've already had before. Because as soon as the first obstacle comes, it's not drawing you up enough. The next goal is stretch target. Well, can you even feel that? I remember that in my corporate days. And these are stretch targets. I mean, you just felt, I'm not going to hit that. And as soon as an obstacle comes, it tends to go by the wayside. A C-type goal is something you've never, ever, ever done before and can't imagine even doing it. Because this is where your imagination comes in. What sort of life do you want? I mean, really want. I mean, really, really, really want. Not what you think you could have, not what you think you should do, not what anybody else tells you to do, but something that you really, really want to live. What is that? What is that? What is burning in your heart? And when you get on this wavelength, and if you've seen it, it's yours. I promise. The science behind it. Everything I do is about the science. The science is behind it. But I know there's some resistance. And some of you put this ceiling on top of yourselves. And I know you've been hurt. I know what's keeping you down here because this is logical. Logical just brings you the past. Trust me, your logic is your left brain. Your left brain is what's already happened to you. Therefore, if you stay in logic, you even get this, logically, you're in the past. And you keep bringing different people, circumstances, situations, but there's not much growth going on. Maybe you get a 10% pay rise. Perhaps 20. I'm not talking about that. That's perhaps your stretch targets. You see, your 1%, 2% pay rises are your A-type goals. So looking forward to your A-type goal pay rise? You kidding me? Is anybody here working for 40 years, for 40 hours a week, for 40% of a pension? That's not a good idea. Come on. What is it? What is it that's in your heart? Get it out, write it out right now. Write it out right now. There's a workbook. Have you got your workbook? I've separated out all the different areas of your life, and I want you to sit and I want you to really think, what is worth your effort in stepping forward? What is worth your effort in stepping forward? Go do it. Write it down and come and have a discussion with me. I'll tell you how to make it possible. You cannot solve your problems with the same thinking you used when you created them. That's what I mean by the difference where your results are and where your goals are. It's not the same thinking. But there's so much more to it than that. There's a decision that you need to make, first of all. Decide that you're worth it. So you make a decision. And I know this because I've done it myself. Yes, this is what I want. And you've drawn out your board and everything is there. Your vision board's got everything on it. But then you walk around your day thinking from here. Let me show you that again. You've decided you're going here, you've done your affirmations, you feel really good in the morning, but then you walk around your day thinking from here. And then you wonder why. Why do I not have it? It's got to be a committed decision to think from here at all times of the day. Not even just 51% over what you were doing before starts to get you on the right line. It's got to be a committed decision. So your goal has to be something worth fighting for. Because once you've seen it, anything else, you're not going to be in your comfort zone because you've seen something different, haven't you? And I promise you, if you've seen it, it's yours. It really is. So this caterpillar wants to be a butterfly. What if you knew the proven methodology? Not just the proven methodology, but your proven methodology. Because my truth is my truth and your truth is your truth. But there's so much information out there, so many different courses. You see, what Bob Proctor did was to bring everything that I've ever known and he put it into 12 lessons. And so we go through this methodology so I could find mine. I thought it was some secrets here. It's all called the secrets to success, the secret. You know what the secret is? The secret is in me. How I do it, how Sheena does it. There's a way that you do it. And it doesn't matter, again, if you're earning $1,000 or you're earning $1 million. If we're not growing, we're dying. Don't get comfortable. That's the worst place to be because things happen out of the oblivion then. Well, that's what they appear to do, but you're the one creating it. Ooh, some people mightn't like that. But let's find your methodology. If you're ready to find your methodology, book a call with me. The link's running along the bottom here. Make sure you book that. There's also a link on the website that you came on. Book that call. So why do we need to come from our vision? Well, this is the shard. Don't know if you've seen that before or been up it. It's in London. And if I'm up here and I take you up here and I show you the view and I tell you where we're going, you can see, you'll be able to, oh, it's to the left. Oh, yes, I can see that. That's absolutely great. And you have that vision. And when you're walking downstairs, you walk with that vision in your mind. So you go, oh, yes, I see. I took a left here. I took a right here. And oh, that's where the building is. Don't think from the ground floor. Think from the top floor. That's where you're going to get results. Again, let's wake you up again. I'm so happy and grateful now. Money flows easily to me from multiple sources in increasing amounts in a continuous way. That's not a bad way to live, is it? You were born rich. You do deserve all the wealth. And I don't mean just wealth, money-wise. I mean everything-wise. Abundance, pure abundance, and feeling that love, joy, ease, and flow. Do you know what? That peace of mind. Peace, then prosperity. So what's in the way? Paradigm. Absolutely. That's what's in the way. That's what that resistance is. It's your programming. Basically, a mental program that is almost exclusive control over our habitual behavior. And most of our behavior is habitual. We get up in the morning, we do the same thing. We talk to people in the same way. We are so used to being ourselves, we cannot see ourselves. And even just in this, I can give you a paradigm shift in just one call because I can show you a way that you have never seen yourself before. It's something that I give for free to all my clients. If that's just what you're interested in on its own, we can have a chat about that too. But that's what I give for free. It's worth $1,000. And so if you want to have a chat about that, but I give it to my clients for free. This, if I can show you and show you how you think, wow, light bulb moments, one after the other about how you've been living your life, why you've been lacking in confidence, why you get frustrated. It not only shows you how you've been, it helps you be who you want to be, the best version of yourself. And so when we have a look at our paradigm literally controls our perception. I mean, this is the key thing, because if we change our perception, then everything else changes. You must have done it before where maybe there was somebody that you didn't like. And over a period of time, you actually started to like them, or the other way around. And so it's all perception, everything you think you can do. It doesn't really matter. I could mention the rest of these, how you use your time, your creativity, your effectiveness, your productivity. It's all perception. And you wouldn't believe that the tiniest changes could change everything. This is what needs changing. And there is no other program that deals with paradigm shifting. Bob Proctor has been the expert. He has literally taken that place of paradigm shifting. Because you see, you're in your box, and so is everybody else. And this will take you out of the box. You can get results in the box that you're in now. But then it's like a bungee rope. You'll work really, really hard and it'll snap you right back. Has anybody experienced that? Snapped right back. That's what happened to me. And I thought, no way. Listen, I was 70k in debt whenever I came to Bob Proctor. And I just thought it was 30,000 to go and work with him. And I thought, I have to do this. I have to do this. Something has to change. Listen, I could have made excuses on that. Oh, well, I haven't got the money. But I knew something needed to change. I wasn't prepared to live like this any longer. I wasn't happy inside. I thought I was until I started to see and really look at where I was and where I was going. And I just saw more work, harder work, harder work. And I didn't want to do that. And my pension was, oh my goodness. Do you really want to live off 40% of what you were living on before? Or get extra jobs to fulfill that space? No. It's fear stops a lot of people, and you mask it as procrastination. Or you mask it as, oh, well, I'll do it in July. Or I'll do it Christmas. Or I'll do it next year. We keep putting things in the way of your results. It just delays you. It just delays you. There is only now. And that's a decision. Is your goal worth it? Is it worth it? Mine certainly was. I had a huge idea of what I wanted to achieve, and it was more about my heart's desire, and about my family and what I wanted to see for our lives. And I haven't even started yet. I haven't even started. I made the committed decision. Will you make the committed decision? Not in this program. I mean, the program's called Thinking into Results. I made the decision that I would do what it takes, no matter what, to get me there. And if somebody was to tell me this information that I'm listening to now, well, I was straight in. Absolutely straight in. So listen, you were born rich. And I'm so happy and grateful now. Money flows easily to me from multiple sources in increasing amounts in a continuous way. You deserve this. I'm talking about the science behind this. Where does all this information come from? Andrew Carnegie there on the left, the richest man in the world. He kept giving his money away and he wondered why did it keep coming back. So he had the next guy, Napoleon Hill, go and interview the wealthiest people in the world. And you know, when he gave him this opportunity, he actually had a stopwatch, and at 60 seconds, that if he didn't say yes in that 60 seconds, the opportunity would have gone. Napoleon Hill said yes in 29 seconds. So he wrote the book, Think and Grow Rich. Then Earl Nightingale was the next person to really bring the personal development into the world. And Bob Proctor was taught directly from Earl Nightingale. And I have been taught directly from Bob Proctor. And I am passing this information on to you. This is about the science. This brings theology, mindfulness, the mysticism, everything. It brings it all together to say that they were all actually saying the same things. So how do we do it? I don't know. We could make a million look small, like Peggy McCall. Peggy was taught by Bob Proctor. And one of the things to realize is just look at the difference in my picture of who I am. So this was 3 years ago. This was last year. This was this year. And this is now. The difference, there was something that had to change inside of me. It's the same for my clients who've had results. So we've got Maria here who literally had been made redundant, and she actually took over the company, and in 4 months she had created 200k worth of profit. Who does that? With Brian here, who had wanted to leave his corporate job for 20 years. 20 years he always wanted to run his own business. He didn't have that idea inside him. And within 6 months of doing this program, he literally left. And he is running his own international company. And he took his annual salary and he made it monthly. And he's doubled that again. I've had people who have literally gone from 200k profit in a year to $1 million a month. So many people making their annual salaries monthly. What is it? They felt they deserved it. Their self-esteem, their self-image, that they were worthy. Here we go with Brian and Manda having top scores here in their credit rating. Would you like that? So this is who I saw myself as. Someone having fun. I just wanted fun. Are you the person who could just rock up and be able to buy whatever you want? Now, this was us just having fun. What is it that you want? Who is the person that you need to become to have the life that you want? Who is that person? Are you the caterpillar? Or are you the butterfly? So you may want to be the butterfly. You cannot walk around thinking like the caterpillar. Are you starting to get the idea here? So this is why we don't get what we want, because we have these ideas that are in our conscious mind. But as we walk along through the day, we're looking at everything of the caterpillar. You need to hold the image of the person you want to be. You see, you've got like a cybernetic instrument, like a thermometer control. And if you turn the heating up, it's set to 70, you turn the heating up, and it obviously all the heaters come on, but then once it's reached its temperature, then it cuts off. Similarly, if it goes down, it comes back up again. That's what your financial paradigm is. It literally is so funny. Have a look at the last 5 years and look at the average and sort of go, money, no money, money, no money, money, no money. And there's an average. That's where your paradigm is set at. You need to reset your paradigm. But how do you do that? Because you see, this cybernetic instrument is in your subconscious. It's your self-image. It's 98% of where your results are coming from. And you don't even know it's there. So say, for an example, you were overweight and you wanted to lose weight. So you make a decision. Now, we've all done this, haven't we? Why do most people not lose weight? Because they only do it in the 2% here. It's 98% here. They do not have an image of themselves as a thin person. So guess what happens? They lose weight. And because they didn't change their internal self-image, they put the weight back on. That's how strong your 2% is. But it also tells you how strong the 98% is. We need a new model. A new model. Because what you think and what you feel sets up a vibration in your body, which creates actions that you take, which sets up an equal and opposite reaction from the universe. And that creates your situation. It doesn't really matter what level of life you're at. Pay attention to this. It will make your life so much easier. This is the basic law of cause and effect, which is not a physical law. It is an energetic law. So it doesn't matter what you do. It's not the certain things you do, it's the things you do in a certain way. You need a new model. Excuse me. A new model, a new thought, a new idea, a new you. Remember, that's only 2%. Gosh, when you really get into the science of this, I can't wait to show you what's in this program, because it really does describe, this is probably the most important thing in the whole lesson. And we go into detail in this as to why this is important. Oh my goodness. If only you knew how powerful you are and how easier your life could be. You've been using the 2%, you're exhausted. It's now time to allow the 98% to do the job it came here to do. It's doing it anyway. It's just you think you're doing it. And you're putting so much effort in. And it's the 98% who's actually creating the results. You've got to see this. Book that call with me. Book it. Get on a call with me so we can discuss what it is. I want to see the light shining from you. I know that you're absolutely awesome. You're totally great. I guess that was always my gift. People tried to bully me, and when I was younger, story for another time. And I guess all I saw was, well, they're just having a bad day. I never saw their behavior as them. I see the greatness inside of you, and I know who you are. I know who you are, and I know all those doubts and insecurities that are going on in your mind. And most of them you can't even hear. 60,000 thoughts a day, 60,000 thoughts a day, and most of them you can't even hear. You were thinking the same thoughts that you thought last week and the week before and the week before and the week before, and you wonder why things don't change. Because you're thinking the same thing about yourself. You may have new ideas, but you're thinking the same thing about yourself. This takes a committed decision, a committed decision. Are you committed to your goal? Are you committed to that dream? Use your workbook to really write things out and really understand, but don't delay in booking the call. Book the call and do that work. Get it in as soon as possible. There is only now, because when this call goes, life will happen and it'll be another dream. And a year later, I have people come back to me. Don't be that person. Book that call now. And let's make that committed decision together. Don't procrastinate. It's fear. Do not think for 1 minute, I'll do it when, I'll do it when, I'll do it when. I want you to do the work now for you. I know you can have this. I know you can see it. Even if it's just peace and clarity. If you don't know exactly what your goal is, we'll have that discussion. I'm very good at pulling some things out of you, but only you can decide. I can't decide for you. There is only now. Listen, make excuses or get results. I mean, there's a load of excuses that you could make. I made them all, and I see them coming, and I know exactly what's going to happen. You see, what we've got here, we call it the terror barrier. Can you see the small one on the left-hand side there? It's the bondage. You have X-type thoughts, you have X-type feelings, so you have X-type results. So what happens is, I've put a new idea in your head, and you've put a new idea in your head. Oh, you can start to see something different. But if we just leave it in the 2% in the top bit in our conscious mind, and we have the pictures, but we haven't actually pulled in on it into our body, we've not changed anything. It's all lovely and it's all just beautiful, but there's not going to be any change. You see, the terror barrier happens is whenever you really start to go, okay, what if I did take my annual salary and make it monthly? Do I even believe that's possible? And that's when you start to feel, oh gosh, do I really want to talk to Sheena? Do I really want to buy a program? A program for life, by the way. For life. The last program you will ever need. For life. It has taken everything I've ever learned and put it into 12 lessons. I keep going over it and over it and over it. My goodness, Bob, took 60 years is information is in this program. I think 10 times is, yeah, I'll be doing it for the next 60 years. Okay, be 110 then. That's okay. So this is what we feel, but are you going to bounce right back? Are you? Are you going to step forward and break through and go, this is happening? This is happening. Enough is enough. I want this. It's time for a change. Not tomorrow, not next year. Now. There is only now. Because when you break through that terror barrier and you actually step forward and take the action is the receiving part. It's not the doing and the getting. The action you take is the receiving, is when you actually say yes. And I promise you that there is just a wealth of freedom feeling even from making that first decision. In all thy getting, get understanding. You've already got everything you want. I want to show you how. Are you going to stay with the caterpillar on this side? Or are you going to break across to freedom and be the butterfly? Which one do you want? Make excuses or get results. There is only now. You decide. I am so happy and grateful now. Money flows easily to me from multiple sources in increasing amounts in a continuous way. You were born rich. Let me show you. Book that clarity session with me. Yes, go on. Book it. I dare you. The link's gone along the bottom of the screen there. Get that clarity session in. Let's have that talk. Why did you take the time out of your day to come to watch this class? Why? What was it? And you're still here. There's something in you. I had plenty of reasons, plenty of personal reasons, which I've shared before in stories. So, caterpillar, butterfly, proven methodology. We've got the proven methodology. How much does that cost? It's actually £12,000. But for you, watching this now, 6,000. Did you go and take a bit of a breather there, or did you go, my goodness, that's such a good price? £6,000 for the rest of your life, to have information of how the successful people think, to have the information about how Bob Proctor thought. Wow. I don't know about you, but knowing what I know now, I'd have paid 100,000 for it. It's up to you. Do you want to remain the caterpillar? Or do you want to break free? Freedom. People want financial freedom. People want freedom from what? Freedom from stress and worry. I'd like to help you with that. Freedom. Are you really going to let £6,000 get in the way of that? Are you? In a score of 1 to 10, getting your goal before, how likely on your own? On a score of 1 to 10, studying what Bob Proctor studied, and he's taken all that information and put it so simply. That is one of the things he's really, really good at. And that's one of the things that I'm really good at, even breaking down what Bob Proctor said and making it even simpler. On a scale of 1 to 10, do you think you're going to get your results? Studying with Bob Proctor and studying with me over the next 6 months? Would you really let £6,000 get in the way? Listen, we're here together on this. Bob Proctor taught me, and now I want to teach you. I'm here for you. It's not who you think you are that holds you back. It's who you think you're not. And you're amazing. Book that session. I dare you. I absolutely dare you to book that session. I'd love to see you. Links there. Speak soon.